everybody, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yes, I have this shirt on again if you watched my last video about my giveaway I won from Homeschool Honey. I just needed to do another video, so I said I'm doing them right in a row. I come on here to share a little haul I got of some books I got for homeschool books for supplementing my children's learning. You can hold on to it and look at it. If not, go put it on that bookcase where we got the resource books. Oh, thank you, honey. I'm sorry. To supplement their learning, because as now that I'm homeschooling, I'm seeing some areas where maybe they didn't learn some things that they should have probably learned while they were in school. So I had to now order some workbooks to help them out, to strengthen them in certain areas. Both my kids are very, very bright. I've always been AB students, a couple times gotten straight A's a few times. So, but the thing is, like my son and my daughter both, my son is in 4th grade. I just tested him for spelling. He does 6th grade spelling, and he can read at close to 7th grade reading and beyond, even some a little bit beyond. My daughter is in 6th grade, can spell when I tested her for spelling, she could spell in 8th grade, and she can read at around the 8th grade level. But the only problem is they both struggle when it comes to the reading comprehension. They can read, no problem. They know the words, they can read it. But when it comes to reading comprehension, and even when it's something at a lower level, so it's not like it's, oh, well, they're just reading it at a higher level, so they can't comprehend a higher level. Because like the work my son is doing right now for his English, he's reading books that came with his 4th grade English, so they're at a 4th grade level, the books, and he's still with the comprehending. Sometimes they can even read just little sheets with little stories and still struggle with the comprehending. So they both do excellent with spelling and reading, but with the comprehension, I've noticed now that we're 2 weeks in that they needed some help. So I ordered some books to help with that. I didn't know exactly which books to get, because I'm very new to this, very new to homeschooling. I don't know what all is out there. So I just went on Amazon, looked through what they had, and got what I thought looked like the best. So for my son, I got him this 4th grade Sylvan Learning, and I know Sylvan, I don't know who all has them. They have a lot of Sylvan Learning Centers around here where you can go and take your children, and they'll tutor them and they'll help them and bring them up to level if they're behind. And I know I've heard a lot of good things about them. So I said, well, let me get this workbook, and, they should hopefully be able to help. So it's a reading comprehension book. It helps with, it says reading between the lines. It says picture clues, fact and opinion, main ideas and details, comparing and contrasting, story planning, and more. My son has already done a worksheet out of here. It has like stories you read. You read the story, and then questions you answer about that story. That's one of the things. And then they have all different kind of things. They have stuff that's similar to that, but they call them different things. And like this one is a picture tells a story, and it's about skimming, learning where just a picture and certain key things tell the story. And from just a picture and certain key things, can you tell what the story is trying to say? Let's see, main ideas. Here's a bit about you read the story about the main idea and the details, and then back here it just asks you about the main idea and all that. So it's it looks pretty good. I've looked through it, and it's got power tools, they call it, and then they got a compare and contrast section, which I believe he did. Yeah, he did one here today, right there, the compare and contrast of comets and asteroids. So he did that one today. So got that for him. Now for my daughter, I got her the 6th grade reading and comprehension skills it's called the Kelly Wingate series. I don't know if anybody's out there has used this or even used this other book. If anybody's used any of these books, tell me what you think of them. But, we're going to give them a try and see. Um, it says that here it says it has 3 levels of practice at each skill. It is aligned with Common Core. We're trying to get away with Common Core, but that's okay. It's aligned with Common Core. It includes 96 flashcards, and it's perfect for home or at school. But it has like different little flashcards you could cut out of the back here. It even gives you a little certificate to give them when they complete the book that they've finished the book. But it looks really good. It looks really good. Like here, the one thing, read the sentences below, choose the word in the word box that is a synonym or the word nearby. Okay, it has that. But it also has compare and contrast like his has. And then where you read the story and then you got to answer the questions after the story. So, got that for her. Then for both of them, I've been hearing a lot of things, and I know I've heard some homeschool moms on videos I've watched talk about these. So I got, it's for each of them, the Brain Quest workbooks. And it's got everything in here, not just reading. It's got, and my son's done like a few workbook pages already. He was having fun with that. He really likes it. It has in here, it has spelling and vocabulary, language arts, reading, writing, math skills, addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, fractions and decimals, geometry and measurements, probability and data, word problems, social studies, science, and then there's the answer key. And then there's extras. They had a map in there, and with the 4th grade one, you get stickers. And then it has like a little game thing where you could cut these little cards out. On the front are questions, and on the back are answers. But look how thick this book is. I mean, you get a lot of pages, like 300 and something pages. And then I like it because on the bottom of the pages, it has like a little brain box. So the kids read this and it kind of gives them an idea of what it is that they're supposed to be doing on this page. So I really like that. So he really likes this book. He's already done, like I said, some pages out of this book. He's done math and a couple of one about fact and opinion and a story and a word search and spelling and vocabulary. So he's done some things out of it already today, and he's really enjoyed it. So I got that for him, and then for my daughter, I got the 6th grade Brain Quest workbook, and has all the similar subjects in it. And I got these, they could do these. I'm going to give them, to do extra each day, probably a couple work pages. But then it's also because sometimes one of them, because we do a couple subjects together, and towards the end of the day, very last thing we usually do is history or science, and we do that together. So sometimes we got to wait when they're doing their independent work. One gets finished before the other one. So I have these now. I can give them, okay, here, let's do some worksheets while you're waiting for your brother or your sister to get done. You could do some worksheets, and this way they're still continuing to work on some things. So I got them that one to help supplement. Okay, so that covers reading. Now we got the area of math. Now with math, we have other issues. Oh, also I'm going to show, I saw this when I was looking, because a couple of these things I got on Amazon and some things I got on Walmart. What did I get at Walmart? I got something at Walmart. I can't remember which thing I ordered. I know the Brain Quest I got at Amazon. I think the reading comprehension and the Sylvan books, I think I got these from Walmart. I believe I got these from Walmart online. And while I was on there, I found this Illinois geography projects. So it's all about projects from their state. So I figured this would be pretty neat and they should enjoy this. And it says 30 cool activities, crafts, and experiments and more for kids to do. So it looks like a lot of fun, and I figured we could go through this, and it's a way for them to learn about their state. And it's got like little projects for them to do and little crafts we can do and different things. So I just thought that would be pretty cool. It was only a few dollars, so I said, let me grab it, and we could do that. Okay, so now on to math. On to Matthew. Okay, my son, he said he has trouble with, he needs help with his multiplication. He started learning some towards the end of, in third grade, but he still struggles with it a little bit. So I had to get something to help him. And then my daughter, she needs help, she said, with decimals and division. And then I've also recently, now that she started doing her workbooks, like I said, we're 2 weeks in, I noticed she also needed some help when she's subtracting large numbers, like really large numbers, like 4, 5, 6 digit numbers. And so for that, I went online in this K5 learning, and I found a bunch of worksheets that have the large subtraction, and they just get larger and larger as we go along here. So it's got like that. So and it gives you the answer sheets with it. So I just printed out like a whole bunch of these, so I can just give her these and she can work on them to work on that. So I got that online at K5 Learning. So if you ever, those of you who don't know about the K5, it's k5learning.com. I'll try to remember to put that down in the link down below. Put that down below as well, k5learning.com. And they got a whole bunch of stuff for all grade, for all the lower grades. I think it goes up to just 5th grade, I believe. And you can go on there and they got worksheets you can just print out for free. So I went and got some books to help them with those things. So since she needed help with decimals, and I know they're both going to need help with fractions, got this one here. It's grade 5, fractions and decimals. I know she's in grade 6, but I couldn't really find grade 6. But since she learned this when she was in grade 5, I got her this workbook to work with fractions and decimals right here. It's from Scholastic. And then I got for my son this multiplication facts workbook. And he's already started working on that. And all it does is it just takes you through your multiplication facts. And it's a small multiplication fact. So this isn't for somebody like advanced in multiplication. This is for somebody who's like really just learning multiplication. It's not for somebody who knows it and it just needs it for larger numbers. This is for like somebody who's just learning multiplication. So got that for him. And then one to help both of them. And this will probably end up helping him more than her because I think she's passed some of this. Some of towards the back might help her, but it's similar to the multiplication. It's the division facts. And it's got this set up the same way with just the division. There's worksheets that you go down with the division. If you want, you can even do it as a timing thing. It has where you can put the date, the start time, the finish time, and then their score. I'm not timing them on this because I told him I'm not timing you on it because my thing is I'm just getting it so you could practice and learn. It's not for timing. I'm not trying to rush you because sometimes if they get pressure on them, it could make them nervous and mess up. Man, the last book that I ordered, because I need it, I got it for me. I am not good at math, okay? I will be honest. My name is Stephanie, and I am not good at math. I've been out of school for quite a while now, okay? I will admit, I am 50 years old. I will not lie about my age. I am 50 years old, and I have my children later in life. And my daughter, right before I turned 38? Right before I turned 39? I can't remember now. Oh my gosh. I was 38 when I had her. Right before I turned 39. She's 11, and I'm 50. Okay, right before I turned 39, my son, I had him exactly a week before my 41st birthday. He was actually due on my birthday, but they thankfully had mercy on me and induced me a week early. So I had my children later in life. And so I'm 50 years old. I've been out of school for a long time. And I have not used this all these different math things in a long time. Unless you're talking about measuring for baking, when it gets to fractions and adding, I can add up like 3/4 and 1/2, or things like that for baking. When you get into all these other ones, all these other things on math, I am lost. And now they're teaching these kids these math things. It seems younger and younger. The things that they're teaching them in sixth grade for math, I don't remember learning until I was like at least eighth grade, close to high school. They're teaching them in sixth grade. It seems like they're learning things younger and younger. Like I couldn't believe when they started kindergarten and they're already learning how to read and write words and sentences. It's like what? Um, but anyway, I got this book, and I've heard a lot of good things. I know a lot of you homeschool mommies out there. I've seen you get it. This one, the complete middle school study guide, everything you need to ace math in one big fat notebook. And I know they got them for different subjects. Or these other subjects. I gotta put these other glasses on. They also make these books for American history, world history, science, and English. But yeah, I put those on over my regular glasses. Sorry guys, didn't mean to scare you. So I got this one for math, and when I was reading the reviews, I read quite a few mamas that said that they got this book and they were not good at math, and it helped them get better at math so that they could help their children. So I'm hoping that's going to help me. I'm actually going to do the work in here. And I'm going to start working on it now, doing the work in here, so that when she gets to this stuff, I'll be able to help her because I'll know it because I've done the work. And it's supposed to be set up that it's notes borrowed from the smartest kid in class and double checked by an award-winning teacher. And I'll show you how it's set up. See, it's set up, it's all nice and colorful, and it's supposed to be set up like it's the kids, like it's their notes, and it gives you a lot of examples and shows you how to do things. And then after it gives you the examples, then it shows you, check your knowledge to see if you know how to do it right. And then you go on the back, it shows you what the answers are to see if you got it right. And then you go here, and that's the chapter 2. We're learning about positive and negative numbers, and then you go through the thing, and it shows you all the examples, and it's supposed to be like the notes that the kid took, and you're looking through their notes and seeing all they took, and then you do your thing to see if you read their notes right, you understood, and then you check your answers, and then you go to the next thing. So I'm going to myself do this book so that I can better help my daughter when she gets to doing this work, because I'm not good at math. I'm honest with you. I'm not. I was smarter in things with school, an honor roll student, but when it came to math, not my thing. And it's not my daughter's thing either. She does not like math. She just wants to get math done and over with and be done with it because she does not care for math at all. And that's kind of how I was. So I would figure if I learn this, then I can help her and we can get through math together. So anyway, this video is already now almost 20 minutes long. I just wanted to share with you this little haul of these supplemental, I can't say that word, supplemental, is that the word? Books that I got to help my kids out, to help them with their reading and with their math. And we'll see as we go along if there's anything else we need to get. We'll see. Like I said, I'm new to all this. I'm over 2 weeks in, and homeschool's doing great. And I suppose maybe in about another week or so, I'll do a video, do an update on how our homeschool's doing now. Their first year, this is our first year, and right at the beginning, how we're doing here. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful, 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 blessed weekend, and I will talk to you all again really soon. Bye-bye.